Hey everybody, Goosebumps are Dummies here, legally on paper, given a birth name, and today I am going to be reviewing Monster Blood. But not the book, the episode, and not the TV show episode from the 90s. I'm talking about the new TV show episode from Goosebumps The Vanishing. Ooh, spooky title. And yeah, it is the 4th episode of the new Goosebumps series on Disney+. And it is easily the weakest. I'm going to say flat out, I'm not a big fan of this episode, though I don't really hate it or dislike it all too much. There are a lot of things I genuinely just do not like about this episode. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to the summary / recap / whatever you want to fucking call it. The episode starts with a flashback to about a month ago, and Cece is heading out for school. She has a bit of an argument with Devin out the door, and it's revealed that he had been suspended from school for about a week because he had punched or got into a fight with someone, and always playing a video game about fighting, which is ironic. And yeah, they're basically calling each other degenerates and Mrs. Perfect, so pretty funny. But Cece heads to school, and she's like, yeah, I can't wait to be in my fucking debate club. She even glazes it over with her friend group, also as well as how she's going to be sent to Gravesend to visit her father for about a month for the summer. And yeah, her friend group is a bunch of college girls who are like so perfect, are full of their own shit type characters, and frankly really fucking annoying. But yeah, Cece goes to school finally, and she's like, oh my god, I can't wait to get into this debate club. She didn't get into fucking debate club. And funny enough, Cece is revealed to be Miss Perfect at the very beginning of the episode with a bunch of trophies, and this is her first time not being Miss Perfect. She fucking screams and goes wah wah wah. I'm not even fucking kidding. Maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but she's a baby. She's a fucking baby. Got to the title card. Still a really crappily edited intro, but nonetheless, it's an intro. I'll give it that. And we cut to now the present once again. And Dr. Brewer is heading out to the hospital to see Trey because he brought Trey to the hospital last night after finding him at the old military fort, completely naked after he had disappeared. Whole lot of shit going on with Trey. Poor Trey. He has the worst of it all. And Cece points out how bad that looks because, of course, he kind of went missing, and after disappearing into his basement and his clothes being found in the basement and him finding him after he disappeared into his basement at the military fort, it just looks really bad, but he's going anyway. So, yeah. Alex will not let on what happens with the haunted car. She won't reveal that it's haunted, basically, to her mother, and she doesn't just want to generally tell her because she doesn't feel like she's gonna believe her. Let alone she is still upset with her mother about the whole juvie thing, so, yeah. Devin brings Frankie, who is in Trey's room at the hospital, some coffee. It is lukewarm, not very good, and a bunch of stuff to comfort her. But momentarily, Trey is just in a state of literal shock, just staring into oblivion, just completely absent in his own body. And a little while later, Anthony finally arrives at the hospital with Jen because they're actually going to go question Trey, but they don't know quite yet that he's actually in a state of complete shock and he can't talk, which they learn going in there. And she asks a few questions. Trey will be unresponsive according to the doctor, who had silenced the kids out of the room and mysteriously said something to Trey about him being fine once it's all over. The doctor's very weird, to say the least, especially when she leaves the building and takes off her clothes. Sounds bad. Her hospital doctor clothes. She still has clothes on underneath. And she says she's not a doctor to CJ, who's walking down the hall and wants to know where the ICR is. I don't know how it's pronounced. Yeah, a little weird, but anyways, she doesn't give any info, and Trey is unresponsive. But Dr. Brewer's like, "Oh, I'm gonna investigate," and he starts levitating the petri dish above his face, which does absolutely nothing. When the doctor leaves, and Anthony leaves, he catches her going to her truck. It seems like she's off work very early, and he gets a little suspicious of this doctor character, who we do not see for the rest of the episode, but it's just still a little strange. Who is this character? And what does she want? We'll find out soon enough in maybe the next episode or two. Ooh. Yeah, Cece on her way to work stops her kombucha, and also I forgot to mention that she ran into Alex right beforehand, and she got her kombucha cut back after she just wouldn't forgive Alex for anything that happened yesterday about the haunted car, which she still does not know is actually a, well, haunted car. Now, in water, submerged car, but nonetheless, it was a haunted car, technically haunted by black goop. And, while stopping for kombucha, funny enough, in this giant fucking city, she magically runs into these three friends from the beginning of the episode, these annoying college girls. Yeah. Let's just say she gets really stretched out when she finds out they're succeeding a lot more than her, and she feels obligated to kind of flex, because she's just that fucking horrible archetype. You can tell what my opinion on Cece is. Her kombucha is ready, but little does she know that her kombucha has gotten a little bit infected by the black goop that was in her cup. And she drinks the entire fucking thing on her way to her meeting that she has. Because she actually has a meeting to possibly get into debate club. And maybe determine the rest of her life, as the meeting says, the lady she's talking to. And the meeting goes smoothly. No, it fucking doesn't. It goes horribly. She starts burping. Burping. I say burping. What the? And somehow Cece runs out of the room and fucking teleports across the states. I'm not kidding. To her apartment, or mom's apartment, back in New York. I'm assuming her mom's not home. She's just not there. What the fuck? Anyways, she calls Devin. And meanwhile, Devin back in Gravesend at the hospital, saying with Trey, he's getting some food from the vending machine with Frankie, who he's flirting with, and Alex shows up. Not me, the girl Alex in the show. And they kind of went on to each other about something involving Trey, Alex's haunted car, and of course them killing Trey with that said car. They're getting a little suspicious of each other, like, do they also know? You know? And yeah, Devin gets the call, and he's like, oh shit, we gotta go to, back to New York to my mom's apartment, because we gotta go get Frankie. Which they, in fact, do. But, meanwhile, Frankie's there, confused as hell, having dementia, which she reveals to Devin. Seems like she's having a similar problem with Devin, where she's forgetting something and having some weird goop involved with her. And she's puking up black goop the whole time. And when she finally is like, okay, I'm a little calm down, she goes to the bathroom, and wouldn't you know it, coming right out of the sink is black goop. But not just a little, a whole blob monster. Yeah, this is monster blood. It chases her around the apartment, but she quickly warns, very quickly, that it does not like electricity, and when it is electrified, it literally just, like, turns to stone for a few seconds. So the more electricity, the more it'll turn to stone. And she uses the stun gun she actually has gotten from her father, so W there was slightly foreshadowed in episode 1 and earlier on in this episode, so cool, I guess. It works, and it stuns Munchblood enough for her to get out of the apartment and into the elevator, which she narrowly escapes from, but not without a very, very intense scene where it's crawling in the elevator from the ceiling and tearing the cords apart. Basically, that elevator is going to go splat with her in it, and, if she doesn't get out soon. Which she is narrowly rescued by Frankie and Devin, after a panic attack in the elevator. Understandably enough, for once. Frankie then, now at the subway waiting for the train, reveals that she had never actually been going to debate camp. And she's just been saying that because she doesn't want to feel like, or want the pity look from Devin, to feel like she's, not perfect, because she's a fucking horrible character in that regard, not overall. And that this is actually the best moment for her, because she's kind of like a person, and not just this, ooh, I'm the best, I'm literally perfect person. And it's nice. And Devin's like, oh, good. And they kind of grow closer. They get on the train, Devin starts flirting with Frankie, and then Monster Blood. Yep, it's back, and it starts attacking the train. Cece runs out after a very, very nice chase sequence, and eventually it leads onto the other train tracks, not the same one with the train, one without a train at the moment, and she sees a train moving and also a spark down the tunnel. Believably, a rail probably breaking, because, rails have systems to switch, and just general wires running through them. So there's a spark going on, and it doesn't like electricity, the Monster Blood doesn't, so she's like, quick thinking. She actually grows a little smart. Not that she wasn't, just like very good quick thinking. And basically fucking murders the monster wood by turning the stone with the electricity. Weird mechanic, but alright. And it gets obliterated by the train. And yeah, all is calm and all is well. They get an Uber back to Gravesend, and they find out that maybe, just maybe, when they get an Uber to fucking, of all places, the military fort, bear with me, their father may be behind it, Anthony Brewer. Or at least they believe. Of course, we know that isn't true, but they think it is now. Yeah. Trey also woke up and he's now communicating. Cool. And he doesn't remember shit, so. Jumping right into positives and negatives, I'll say the ending, or the rather, I think I just bumped my stand. the second half, or the third arc, I don't know, the third of this episode, it's better. It's the better part of this. I like the monster wood. I think it is really cool, and I like how it works. I like that it's literally this black pus that she puked out. It's basically blood, because she was having a nosebleed, and she was picking up the blood. There was a weird kombucha joke. I don't know what it really is, but I'm pretty, 110% sure it's fucking blood. Which is pretty cool. Monster blood that is actually blood. And I like all the sequence we've got with it. It was very tense and very nice. I like Cece's character growing, not her character, just how it grew around the end. I like all the acting as per usual. I think the plot was definitely very interesting for this one. And it was a mildly good time, with some decent CGI for the monster wood. Now, the downsides. Fucking hell. Cece. Let me tell you, this is one of the worst characters in this show. I mean, there's no competition. Everybody else is actually pretty good, I'd say. Frankie's kind of bland. She's just that, hey, I'm the love interest character. But Cece? Nah, she's not even just bland. She's just bad in a lot of regards. She does improve from this point forward, but here I think she's at an all-time low as a character. I'm just be flat out, I almost hate her. I almost want to hate her, because she just has so many things I do not like about her. She's a prick, she's petty as fuck, she thinks she's all perfect, she thinks she's all shit, she is retarded. And whilst there's some good moments of her, being really stressed out, which I found really cool, and probably relatable for a lot of people, going through, early stages of life, school and shit, it's yeah, it's cool, but besides that, and her growing at the end, it's bruh, she's just fucking a horrible archetype, and she's not really fun to watch just because you don't really like her. Yeah, Cece's not a great character. There's some annoying side characters, specifically the fucking college annoying prick girls who thinks they're all shit, and just generally, the apartment. How the fuck do you teleport across the state? Now, I know they said they're not far from New York, Manhattan, or Brooklyn. They're not far from Brooklyn. However, that doesn't still make any sense. How do you just teleport there? I mean, this black sludge, I know it can bring you places if you, get evaporated or melted by it, because I'm sure it melted Cece and just brought her there, but why? Why did it do that? Why did it bring her to the apartment and not the fort? Why did it do anything? None of it makes any fucking sense when it comes to why she ended up there, and it's just really, really, really fucking weird. Also, I wish the mechanics with the monster wood were a bit more explored, because, why does it react to electricity that way where it turns into stone? Is that just a normal reaction of blood? I don't think so. But either way, I enjoyed this episode, but not a whole lot. This episode gets a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks, Cece, if you want to know. She really was not helping this any. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode review, and tell me what you think of Monster Wood down below. What do you think of this adaptation of Monster Wood? Because I've heard mixed things on it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.